Hello guys, my name is Ryan Shred and this is my review of The Batman. I wouldn't change one thing about this movie. This movie is a freaking dark noir Batman animated Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Gotham TV show, The Long Halloween, Gotham by Gaslight, the Batman Year One, all jam-packed in one movie. And if a Batman movie, if a superhero movie met the Seven movie and had a baby. But yeah, the acting was brilliant. You got Robert Pattinson kicking ass as Batman. I don't think we got a lot of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne did take a back step in this movie. We got more Batman than any other live action iteration of Batman ever. Pretty much every scene is the Batman, except for maybe the opening scene. But the opening scene, you get freaking Gotham and how scum and criminally it is, and just the evilness and just how dark it is. And you get the dude from the Titans showing up as one of the I guess clown face goons, if you will. He kind of had a clown face, Two-Face. I guess he was halfway. That's because they're going to do the initiation by beating up some old, very innocent guy. Batman shows up and of course kicks ass, and of course the dude that plays, I believe, Tim Drake and the Titans, he looked like he shit his pants seeing the Batman kick ass, so he runs off. But man, this whole movie was just brilliantly done. Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, Batman and Catwoman's chemistry was amazing. Just art. The action wasn't the best, but it served the story, because in any Batman Year 2, he's still learning how to fight. He's still learning the kinks and what not to do and the things to look out for. By Batman Year 4 or 5, that's when he becomes the not assassin, but kick-ass badass he is as Batman. But I saw a lot of people complaining that the fighting was just not good, and well, it was good, but not as par as the Christopher Nolan movies, or even the Ben Affleck. They're comparing it to the Ben Affleck warehouse scene in Batman vs Superman. I tell people all the time, no, he was not supposed to be the Ben Affleck kicking ass or Christian Bale's Batman. No, this is him as Year 2 as Batman. So he's not going to, he's going to know how to fight, but he's still going to make mistakes. He's going to learn from his mistakes. That's what makes Batman Batman. He didn't just, as much as, yes, he's smart, and we really get that and again, also, we get a ton of Detective Batman. We never have gotten that in any other Batman movie. Live action, maybe not animated, but live action, definitely. The whole there was nods in this movie, the part where they're in Riddler's apartment after he kills the Falcone, and it was a nod to the Arkham Knight game, where Batman's realizing that Riddler's about to expose him as Bruce Wayne at the time, and he tells Jim, he's like, this is it, this is where it ends, and something like that. The way he said it and how he said it, big reminiscing flashback to the Arkham Knight, where Bruce Wayne, Batman would tell Jim that this is it, this is the end. Kind of the same thing he did, or what he said. But Robert Pattinson's Batman, man, he kicks ass. We don't get a lot of screen time with Pennyworth. Alfred Pennyworth. You had Andy Serkis play him. I wish we had more of him as Alfred Pennyworth. I really was starting to like him more and more. him also doing the detective stuff, which you never have ever seen in the Arkham, or not Arkham, but in the Batman live action movies all around, like from even the Adam West Batman to all the Schumacher and Tim Burton and all that. None of them, not even Christopher Nolan. As much as I love the Dark Knight trilogy, we don't even get that. We do get a hint of it in the Ben Affleck stuff, but other than that, I mean, Alfred actually doing the detective work as well was pretty cool. I kind of wish we got some of Fox. I don't know if I wish they would explain a little bit about, like, we don't have to get the origin story, but a little bit where his technology actually comes from, who's running it. Of course, it's Fox, but I would love to see more of that a little bit. But but can we say though, like, Alex Fern as Savage though? Okay, so going into the movie, we get, I guess, the Riddler, like looking at the mayor, stalking the mayor, looking at his prey before he's about to murder the mayor, and the whole thing is just dark. It's serious, Batman. Then you get the Batman and Jim Gordon looking over the crime scene and everything, but then Alex Fern shows up as Pete Savage, and he has I don't know if he chose that voice or what, but dude, it was so like high pitched. Nothing against it, but like, dude, it was so out of left field with the voice. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was just like, I almost wanted to laugh, but at the same time I was like, no one's laughing with it, so I was like, I'm gonna roll with it. Also, by the way, I love how we didn't get overly saturated with comedy. Like, that's one big issue I have with a lot of the MCU movie stuff, and I mean, it is what it is. It serves it best for the MCU, but sometimes, it can be overly done. Like, I think, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They do that a little too much. In this movie, you get kind of the right amount. Maybe we could have had a little bit more. But, I mean, I wouldn't change a thing in this movie. Now, it was too long, and some people at the time should have been shaved, but I think, it wouldn't serve the movie well. Maybe we could have done without some of the stuff, like maybe the opening scene a little. I don't know. I love the opening scene. You get the whole scene of Gotham. First thing out of the gate, you get the character of Gotham and how dark Gotham is, and the whole beatdown scene. It just, and also the diner scene. Can't say it. Diner scene. Sorry. The diner scene when they finally found the Riddler as he wanted them to. We see it in the trailer, but like that whole scene, it kind of reminded me of that art painting of the gentleman and the couple and the bartender or whatever, the cashier guy. Like that painting kind of reminded me of that a little bit. I love that nod. If that was a nod, it was just really cool. And let's talk about Colin Farrell's Penguin, dude. That scene. The scene where, so Batman and Jim Gordon go to this car place, because they think that the Penguin is the rat, because they're looking for the rat. The whole point is they gotta look for the rat in order to really figure out the whole case. Eventually, we get plot twist. It's Carmine Falcone and that whole thing, and there's history with that. How I didn't really so before I get even into that, the scene between Batman and Penguin. Well, so Batman and Gordon get there. There's a shootout with Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, so Penguin's shooting up the place. Kind of remind me of the Penguin from the Gotham show, and there was some nods to the Gotham show in this, and that dark, and they do that a lot in this movie where and it was kind of like a great connecting part where criminals look into the dark abyss of an alley or whatever, and then Batman shows up, or they just that fear is in Gotham already. But when Colin was like, he turned around and here's the car, the muscle car, and Batman is vehicle, and I like how I kind of stopped in the beginning because even the Batmobile is having issues, or I don't know if it was an issue or just him actually just kind of like bucking at him in a way. It was just, I love that, and the whole scene, the driving scene was just, we never, even in because the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, they were known for the driving scenes, and I have to say they're still up there, but man, it was brutal in this one, and it was just I loved and I went to the IMAX screening. The sound system was kind of off, but dude, it sounded like freaking like a Monster Jam, just going freaking nuts and everything. And you get the whole, and everyone started clap. The only part of the movie people clap is when Batman gets out the car and Penguin's upside down in this car and he's walking towards the car like you see in the trailer, and everyone's just clapping because this is the moment that Batman really shines. And it was like, you can't get that moment nowhere else, man. That's why I advocate people to go to the movie theater and experience this, because those moments will live with you forever. And that moment right there was just art, beautiful. Overall, and I like John Turturro's as Carmine Falcone. I think still the dude from the Gotham show is way better as Falcone, but I don't know. He started to grow on me towards the end, but then they ended up killing him. Well, I don't think he's dead, because that was the big thing about this movie. Also, with the stories and everything else that was brought into it, there was a lot of nods to the Court of Owls. I think there was a thing long ago, I don't know what article, what interview it was, but Matt Reeves did say that this trilogy, he really wanted to get into the Court of Owls. And there was a lot of nods to the Court of Owls. And you'd be like, well, what's the Court of Owls? Basically, the Court of Owls are this organization that are like underground running Gotham without Gotham even knowing. Like they'll orchestrate even big events like the flooding of Gotham, something like that to happen. To flesh out the city. Kind of like what there was even nods to the Ra's al Ghul stuff as well, which is kind of cool. So kind of in my mind, I'm thinking, are they going to do the Gotham thing where they had Ra's al Ghul show up with the Court of Owls? With the Court of Owls bringing in Ra's al Ghul's running the Court of Owls and something like that. But basically, yeah, and they have connections to the Wayne family, which I think there's a deeper connection with the Arkham family, which is the Arkham city and the asylum, which is named after the prison. And there's connections with that. And I did think I thought the reporter was going to be the father of the Riddler, but it is what it is. But I'm good when something seems predictable, it doesn't turn out to be what it was, even though it looks very obvious it was, which I like how it was a twist. But I don't know, I still felt like the twist wasn't big enough though. It was like, okay, so what? Thomas Wayne does something shady unintentionally, and he gets, he asks his Falcone to whack the reporter from reporting that Martha Wayne's going into Arkham Asylum or seeing medical help or something like that. And it was unintentional, but we've had that before. It wasn't a big twist. It wasn't a good build-up, and even the whole Batman and killing the parents thing, I don't know. There's something about it that just didn't stick with me as a twist as much as it should, but But mostly last but not least, and also Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. Loved his performance as Jim Gordon. I still have, in my heart, I still like Ben Kingsley, I think his name was, as an actor. Plays Jim Gordon in the Gotham show. I just have a special place in my heart for Gotham, the TV show. Don't judge me. But Jeffrey Wright, man. I've been following Jeffrey Wright for a bit. My most favorite project he's done, besides the Batman, is Westworld. He's crazy good in Westworld. I truly recommend go seeing Westworld. It's a TV show based off a movie, and I think a book too. So, but yeah, Jeffrey Wright does an amazing job as Jim Gordon. The whole chemistry with Batman and Jim Gordon, like I said earlier, the chemistry was just top notch. So with Catwoman and Batman, just the relationships in these movies, the relationship between side characters and heroes was just, it was brilliantly delivered. But the biggest part of this movie, I have to say, I get so sick and tired of people talking about, oh, that's the Twilight boy or some bullshit, whatever. But Robert Pattinson, come on. I'm done trying to defend him, because he has, even before the Batman and between Twilight and the Batman, he has amazing work. All you gotta do is look up his name and look at his, his discography. I can't even say his name, but look at other movies he's been in, and it speaks for itself. The art speaks for itself, and this movie, if anything, really heightens that as well. The Riddler's name is Paul Dano. But Paul Dano is just the Riddler, just kills it in this movie. But yeah, it's just overall, I don't want to even go into a lot of spoilers into this movie. I did go into some of the twists, but I mean overall, the action was great and everything. But I just don't want to give away too much. I still feel like I want to give time for people to actually watch it. But I did really actually spoil a lot of stuff in the spoiler review. But yeah, Robert Pattinson did amazing. And Matt Reeves, I hope you kill it. I hope we get a great trilogy like we did for the Christopher Nolan. And I'm looking forward to the Batman 2 and see what you do with the Joker, because I don't know how I'm feeling with the Joker at this point, but we'll see. Overall, my rating, I did say this in the non-spoiler review coming out of the theater with Kayla Gosselin. But I'm going to change my rating. I've only done this once with Eternals. I did change my rating on... No, it wasn't Eternals, it was Dune. I changed my rating in my review on Dune. It flipped. Because I chose not to see it in the theater, but my second time I did. But it changed my review for it. But I'm going to give this movie a rating of... See, my spoiler-free review, I gave it an 8.9. I'm giving this a 9.6 out of 10. The only reason why it's not 100, no movie should be 100. But if it would have been 98, but there is some parts in this movie I do feel like they could have either shaved down the time just a bit, or I don't know, there's something about it that I feel like I'm missing, that I feel like the Riddler, I feel like at the end of the movie, I felt like it was kind of a big letdown when it comes to the fighting. Because usually, like, at the end of the Batman movie, besides the Dark Knight, and wasn't really looking for it. Like, I wasn't looking for it, but, I just felt like the whole Riddler and Batman, I feel like there's that pummeling that the Batman gave on the Riddler. Like, I felt like, the Riddler's goons, like, I feel like that should have been Paul Dano. As much as I love his pretty face, but like, I feel like that should have been Batman and Riddler, Batman and the Riddler. The Batman and the Riddler, Batman pummeling his face. I feel like that would have been perfect, but I don't know. But I get it for the story. I get it. But yeah, but overall, I'm giving this I'm giving this a 9.6 out of 10. I love this movie. Can't wait to get it. This one I might get for a steelbook though. 'cause I really love this movie. And the artwork, everything about this movie, from the color scheme to the cinematography, the cinematics, everything about it, I love it. I love this movie, and I can't wait to have it as a Blu-ray or 4K and in steelbook form. So yeah, so that's my review, spoiler review of the Batman. Subscribe and like, please.